So last but not least, we'll take a look at my SU-25 Sukhoi that I've been working on over the past week. And as you can see, we're in black base primer stage, and I think it turned out quite nicely. This was painted up with Mr. Color 125, one of my favorite paints to use and primer coat application, if you want to call it that. Kind of a big proponent not to use thick, heavy coats of primer rather than use a thinner coat of just regular paint and use that as your checking work on your model. So all the details are on, as you can see. Let's see if we can grab this guy a little bit, turn it around. We added some little grab handles, crew access. This was missing in the trumpeter kit, right in the spine area. We got the large antenna now on there. It's going to get quite tricky to handle this model with all these very fragile antennas, but I think we're doing very good. Nice little shot of, let's see if we can turn this around for you and show the exhausts detail. Those are the Aries exhausts. Work very, very well in this kit. Painted up with metallizers, smoke exhaust, various extreme metals, and also some alkylates just to provide some depth in there. You might also be able to spot some of the very, very tiny small PE actuators right there for the trim tabs on the elevators. You might be able to see some of the detail that's still visible in the wheel wells right there. But everything's starting to turn out quite nice right now. Just ran into a couple of little sink marks that I just didn't catch before I started primering. As you can see, they're right there and right there. And those are filled right now with some Tamiya sprue filler glue concoction. We'll just let that harden for the next couple days, and then I'll just sand it flat, and we'll just overcoat it again with a little bit of black paint, and we're done. But I think we're getting very, very close to being able to get into that digital scheme and start figuring that out. So I'm getting quite excited on getting some real paint on this aircraft. But all in all, very, very happy. Definitely not one of the easiest kits to work on. The large spine on the top join is very difficult, if at best, and then there's two very large joins right there that you got to blend in, rescribe, do a little riveting, but some patience, you'll get there. Let's get this out of the way, just the hair. And then we did some extra detailing on the tanks. Some of you, if you're familiar with the kit, you'll recognize the fact that these tanks are actually much smaller than the tanks that are included in the kit. Those are 1,200 liter ferry tanks, and these are 800 liter combat mission capable tanks. So they were cut down. Basically it's missing a section here and it's missing a section right here. And then we also did some weld detailing. Hopefully you can see that right there, with using some Archer resin transfers, and I think they really turned out quite nice. I'm super happy about that. Just gives a little extra touch of detail to these tanks. Also moved this particular filler station. You can also see on the bottom I added some drainage tubes that are missing in the kit. Just use some reference pictures just to take a look at and see where they were located. They might not be 100% exactly right, but provide some pretty nice detail around. So very happy about that. So that's where we're at today with painting the model and getting it ready through the primer stage, doing seam checking, and we're in general good state. So let me put this model away a little bit and out of the way, and then I'll show you what we're heading towards. Is this particular scheme. Let's move that towards you guys. Oh, the glare and reflection, I guess. There we go. So these are coming from Foxbot out of the Ukraine, direct ordered. Just gorgeous scheme. It's about 7 gray tones throughout the aircraft, but very, very well detailed. Instructions, comes with an enormous amount of stencil data, very well researched. These guys are taking pictures at Kulbalkina Air Base in the Ukraine during their current operations right now that are undergoing even today as we speak. Very well done. So I can't wait to get going on that, and hopefully by the next update next week we'll have some paint on the Sukhoi, and you can take a look at that and see how we're doing. This does come with a stencil set, and they're vinyl, very nicely cut, and we'll go through all of that as well on how to apply those, properly adhere them to the model, and then mask them and come up with that very, very interesting digital scheme. So that's where we're at today. Thanks for watching.